we have the current stock market update for SoFi Technologies Incorporated, stock ticker SOFI. Before we begin with today's chart analysis, if you find these educational materials to be helpful in your trading, please remember to click the like and subscribe buttons and leave your thoughts below in the comments section so that other traders will be able to find this information more easily on the platform. So here we're going to start out with a 30-minute price chart. Each candle on this price chart represents a 30-minute trading period, but we are going to be drilling in a bit closer because I do think that there are some kind of short-term warning signals that are starting to develop on the 5-minute price chart that I think SoFi traders should be aware of. So first, what we're going to do is take a bit of a broader view here, just so that we kind of understand the major trend wave that we're currently looking at. Currently, as we have been watching here, this recent price level, this recent support zone to the downside comes in just above the 670 mark. So we'll just kind of type that in here quickly. And we can see that share prices did ultimately post highs at $8.52. Of course, there was kind of a disappointing market reaction overall to the interest rate decision from the Federal Reserve. Most people, I think, on this platform, I think everybody that I saw posting a video about SoFi was, projecting that share prices were going to be exploding here after the interest rate decision. Of course, that did not happen. There were many reasons to believe that would not happen, and what we have seen currently is share prices kind of sort of devolve or move downward into roughly this 760 area. So we're trading roughly less than $1 from those prior price lows. And this is an important development here because, as you'll see on these shorter term time frames, there are some warning signals that are starting to unfold here. So currently, just to quickly re-summarize here, what we're looking at here is a support zone to the downside, which comes in at $7.60. And that would also mark the 50% retracement of this major trending move. So, instead of rallying higher, as most people were expected, share prices actually lost about 50% of that prior rally. So with the rest of this video, just quickly, I just want to look at some of these shorter term time frames here. So what we're looking at currently is the 5-minute price chart. So now each candle here represents a 5-minute trading period. And we're going to be sort of drilling into this price chart a bit more closely so that we can see some of the kind of warning signs that are starting to develop here. So, remember, this is the same price level that we were watching in the prior charting time frame here, roughly $7.60. We can see that share prices did see a little bit of a breach below this level, but then managed to find some support and rally higher. So that would be this price movement here. Near-term resistance levels came in just below 790. So that would be this area here. And what we're starting to see is the development of really a triple top resistance zone on this shorter term time frame. In addition to that, what we're seeing is that share prices are really starting to have a lot of difficulty with this 200 period exponential moving average. So that would essentially be this blue line here, this declining blue line here. And as we can see, there are some interesting developments here because, of course, it is moving in the downward direction. And as we can see on 3 separate occasions here, we're really starting to find resistance in this area. And if we zoom in even a bit more closely, we can see that the closing periods within these candles are also starting to be affected by that exponential moving average. So here, most recently, we can see that share prices did actually break above here a bit, and that is ultimately what led to this triple top resistance formation. But as we can also see here, the candle bodies are starting to obey that exponential moving average. So we are seeing spikes in the upward direction, but we're really not seeing price closes above there. So this is why you're not seeing green candle bodies that are developing above this blue line here. So this is an interesting development here because previously you were seeing higher closes. For example, right here, if we look at this specific green candle here, that's a closing period that's roughly, meeting this 200 period exponential moving average. But as the EMA continues to decline, the closing periods for this price chart are also developing at lower levels. So this is significant here because what this tells us is that we're starting to develop resistance zones at lower and lower levels. In addition to that, another thing that we should point out here that should be clear at this point is that we're also starting to see lower lows on this short-term time frame. So we do have to keep in mind, it is the 5-minute time frame here, but I know that there are several people that are trading the stock on the shorter term time frames, and For anybody that's looking to build positions and things like that, this is the way to do it. I mean, you have to look at the shorter term time frames to sort of spot when there might be opportunities, when there might be trend movements in the downside direction, because we have to buy low and sell high. So, we have to look at these lower time frames to get a sense of, whether or not share prices are likely to start heading lower, or start to rally higher. It's really not a good idea for stocks like this to just kind of randomly choose a price level, and then wait for things to move higher. I mean, we can use the shorter term timeframes to identify some more profitable entry points. So, specifically what I'm pointing to here is that, we're seeing a triple top resistance zone that really is obeying this blue line here, this exponential moving average, that the 200 period exponential moving average, and it is moving downward. So that sort of gives us a trend bias here. And then in addition to that, we're starting to see lower lows that are also developing. I mean, I didn't even mark in that last low here. So this low here as well. So, we've seen three now lower lows appear in succession with one another. And we are really pointing right back at that prior low back at $7.60. So, we were seeing a bit of a rally here. We didn't exactly move into the $8 mark, as is often the case. I mean, you'll often see short prices, maybe possibly bullish investors start to get a bit nervous heading into these psychological resistance levels, and they maybe take profits in advance of those levels. So that is something that can have the effect of sending share prices lower. So currently, what we're seeing here is a trend movement that is now refocused back on the $7.60 support zone. So just to kind of quickly, just to end the video here, I am going to go back to the hourly time frame just so that we can get a look at what might happen if we do lose support at 760. So specifically, we have this 50% Fibonacci retracement. We also have this rising 200 period exponential moving average that's coming into contact right with that area. So if we do lose support at 760, we not only lose that 50% retracement zone, but we also lose the historical support zone and the 200-hour exponential moving average. So you would expect to see a little bit of follow through at the very least if we do start to lose this level. So the first level that I would be watching from there is 740. That's a 61.8% Fibonacci retracement, and then from there, I'd be looking at roughly 710 as another potential downside. So we haven't yet broken through 760, so we can't really get ahead of ourselves here. We would expect to see a bit of follow through to the downside if that level breaks. So we will need to be watching for that going forward. So here's the current stock market update for SoFi Technologies Incorporated, stock ticker SOFI. Our high value trading strategies membership is currently available for a limited time for only $9.99 per month. These high conviction investment strategies are characterized by superior risk to reward metrics that target massive market beating returns over time. Join now to outperform the market. Lock in this special introductory rate of just $9.99 per month for the entire lifetime of your membership and start trading stocks with the pros.